election says it's too early to say whether irregularities mar the 2016 elections, as claimed by Senator Tito Sotto. Our Sen Arcangel reports.
Senate Majority Leader Tito Sotto claims the results of the 2016 elections could have been manipulated by technology provider Smartmatic. In a privileged speech on Tuesday, Sotto questioned the Commission on Elections' decision to tap Smartmatic for the 2019 polls, saying a source gave him information about alleged irregularities that happened in the previous elections.
The 2 points that were alleged in the information that was relayed to me. First, is that there were early transmissions of votes. Second, that there was a remote access of our election server.
COMELEC, however, says it's too early to say whether irregularities marred the 2016 elections, especially since they have yet to obtain the data Sotto mentioned in his speech. On Sotto's claim of early transmission, COMELEC spokesperson James Jimenez says it's possible that the data recorded came from the final testing and sealing of the vote counting machines. He notes the VCMs were tested for recording and transmitting votes, but with dummy results, even up to the wee hours before the 2016 elections.
So, is it impossible that there were transmissions from the final testing and sealing? At this point, it's really hard to say. Final testing and sealing, the protocol is to try out everything that the machine is able to do. Baka naman yung transmissions na tinutukoy were part of the process.
Regarding Sotto's claim that information gathered from the election servers were submitted to a cloud services provider based in the United States, Jimenez says the senator might just be referring to data posted on the COMELEC's own election results website, filipinaselectionresults2016.com. Jimenez admits the election results that came from the election servers passed through a server overseas before it was uploaded to the website.
That passes through a foreign server. I don't know if it's exactly the same server that was identified, but again, this is possible.
As to the 0 votes that some senatorial and presidential candidates allegedly had, Jimenez says such events do happen.
Merong 0 votes everywhere. I think every candidate had a 0 vote experience.
Jimenez says it's premature to speculate whether results were manipulated in the 2016 elections, though the COMELEC will be conducting its own investigation on the matter. Sen Arcangel, CNN, Philippines.
A House panel investigates the controversial Navy frigate deal. The Defense Department maintains there's nothing anomalous in the project. In a separate Senate probe last month, Defense Chief Delfin Lorenzana said they will still pursue the deal. Let's get more details from our Trisha Terada reporting from the Batasang Pambansa. Trisha, take us through the hearing.
Yes, Tia, the investigation of the controversial frigate deal has reached Congress. Both the Defense Department and former Navy OIC Ronald Mercado presented their assertions. Lawmakers mainly focused on the intricacies of the frigate deal, such as the bidding and procurement process. Now, these are important things for them to unravel the roots of the alleged anomalies, including the reasons behind the release of Mercado. In his opening statement, Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana once again reiterated that Mercado was sacked because he lost trust and confidence in him due to insubordination. He says if there is anyone to be blamed, it should be Mercado, who he says tried to intervene in the frigate deal to favor a subcontractor, an accusation that Mercado strongly opposes. These things have been said several times, but what's quite telling now is his answer to a question raised by Representative Romeo Aco. Lorenzana said he recommended the relief of Mercado to the President, but there is no documentation of the President's approval since it was relayed verbally. There is another aspect that representatives want to look into, and that is the process of removing an officer, in this case, the highest officer of the Philippine Navy. Their interest is further heightened since there had been no issues raised in past deliberations on Mercado's appointment.
He has undergone the scrutiny of this Congress many times, and never was it brought to the attention of the Commission or this Congress that Vice Admiral Mercado has exhibited any undesirable leadership or behavioral trait. 4 na beses dumaan sa Commission on Appointments. Never was anything leveled against him, especially insubordination. And now he was relieved for insubordination.
How can you continue to have confidence and trust on a leader who interferes in a legally binding contract, usurp your authority, and defy your orders. There is no issue in the frigate acquisition project, and it should have moved smoothly, except for the former Flag Officer in Command's Vice Admiral Mercado's fixation and insistence on the CMS of Thales.
The Defense Department maintains there is nothing anomalous in the frigate deal, asserting that every step of the procurement had been done according to law. Aside from fixing issues in acquisition and the compatibility issues for the equipment, lawmakers note one important outcome of this investigation, and that is the recommendation for the country to manufacture or create its own defense system. Pia?
Trisha Terada there reporting from the Batasang Pambansa. Retail magnate Henry C. remains the richest person in the country for the 11th straight year. That's according to business magazine Forbes. The chairman emeritus of SM Investments Corporation has a total net worth of $20 billion, or over 1 trillion pesos. His current net worth is almost double compared to that in 2017. The 93-year-old tycoon ranked 52nd richest in the world this year. Next to C is John Gokongwei Jr. of JG Summit with a net worth of over $5.5 billion, or around 300 billion pesos. International Container Terminal Services Chair Enrique Razon Jr. ranked third in the country with a net worth of nearly $5 billion, or over 250 billion pesos. 9 other Filipino businessmen made it to the list, like Jollibee Foods Corporation's Tony Tan Cationg, George T. of Metro Bank, and San Miguel Corporation President and COO Ramon Ang. Meanwhile, the founder and CEO of e-commerce giant Amazon tops Forbes' list of the world's richest. Jeff Bezos has a total net worth of $112 billion, or around 5.8 trillion pesos. Forbes says Bezos is the first person to top the $100 billion mark as number 1 on the annual list. For the full list of Filipinos and other businessmen who made it to Forbes' annual ranking, visit our website, cnnphilippines.com. Now here's a look at some corporate stories making headlines in the aviation industry. Philippine Airlines is increasing the number of flights between Manila and Melbourne in Australia beginning June 1st. The flag carrier will operate 5 weekly flights on the route from the current thrice-weekly service. The additional flights come after PAL received a 4-star certification from air transport rating organization Skytrax. Budget carrier Cebu Pacific gets the green light to have a new company under its wings. In a disclosure to the Philippine Stock Exchange, its parent company Cebu Air says the Securities and Exchange Commission approved the incorporation of One Aviation Ground Handling Services Corporation. And the Aboitiz Group's infrastructure unit submits an unsolicited proposal to upgrade, expand, operate, and maintain 4 major regional airports. The regional gateways in Aboitiz Infra Capital's proposal are Iloilo International Airport, Bacolod Silay Airport in Negros Occidental, Laguindingan Airport in Misamis Oriental, and the new Bohol International Airport in Panglao. The 148 billion peso project aims to transform the terminals into world-class airports while decongesting Manila's Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Edition of CNN Philippines Newsnight, Sereno, the Chief Justice Marilu Sereno, facing an uncertain future. Tomorrow, the House Justice Committee is going to vote on probable cause on the impeachment complaints filed against her. If they do, and they are expected to do that, then that means things are going to move forward in the House of Representatives. Although, as our Joyce Ilas was telling us a while ago, Rudy Fariñas, Majority Leader of the House, saying, ay nako.